about discernment and trust. You know, we're the island of Molokai. So from this position on a normal day, we could see both the island of Molokai and the West Maui Mountains. However, this is not a normal day, as we both know, is it? First of all, I'm referring to, of course, being 11/22/2012, which means quadruple Masters number 11 day. And what Goddess of Fire does is, in our Hawaiian cosmology, that's Goddess Pele. What she is the goddess of is the goddess of fire and volcanoes. And so I said, normally we can see those islands, but we cannot today, because today we have been blessed by VOG. VOG is volcanic emissions, which come to this island sometimes, very rarely, when the southeasterly winds bring the VOG from the Big Island, from the Kilauea volcano. And today, I guess, we are having the presence of Goddess Pele presiding over this meeting, over this broadcast, and assisting us with it. And this is no joke, because last night I asked the spirit guides to help us, and in fact, just so that you and our fellow stewards know, before we started this morning, I opened the sacred space here, and in doing so, Goddess Pele obviously showed up through the elements. And so, thank you, Goddess Pele, for being with us. We honor you today, and maybe later on today, down at the sacred space, the Anahata Waka Ahu, I'll do a fire ceremony. So that's the setup of where we are today.
I love it. I love it. And you know, I think it's so important to just speak a minute, if it's okay, about quantum physics.
Please.
In your field, I am connected, we are all connected, and so, you know, it's not that you're in Hawaii with this, how do you call it, VOG? VOG, volcanic emissions. The energy in my truth of your experience, because we have entered into this morphogenic field, is part of my reality and my field and that of the listeners. So we're all experiencing this together.
And you know what? You're so right, Nina, because I feel the next time around when I invite people to join us, I need to put this line in sacred space in bold capital letters, because that's what you're talking about. We're all in the same energetic field, right? All of those from around the world, from all 6 continents, they're with us right now. But I have to... Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Take it a step further, I think we're now moving into a larger field, and that includes galactic and cosmic.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I'm sure that in due course, our golden dolphins from Sirius B will join us to prove that point. The golden dolphins of Sirius B, I said, from the galactic sphere, will join us to prove your point. Anyway, I wanted to share a little funny incident with you. When I said I feel I need to underline in space that the invitation is to join us in sacred space. One of my dear neighbors was going to come over, to physically be with us, because he thought that was what this gathering was about. And I just did the picture of thousands of people from 6 continents gathering here at 10 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day to join us in this broadcast. And we might as well imagine them to be here because of the quantum physics, even if they're not bodily present on this lanai.
Absolutely. And that's a new awareness that I think is so important for us all to have, that we don't have to be physically in the same space, but energetically, absolutely, positively we are.
And in fact, during the course of discussing some of the past incarnations in the last few days with some of our stewards of the earth, the phrase that I use to describe our physical bodies is they're like the costumes that an actor puts on for a particular role. And when you finish with that role, you change the costumes. You got a different body, So to get back to where we were, all right, we had planned to talk today about discernment and trust. You know, one way or another, probably unwittingly, we seem to be following your STAR acronym. You know, the last time we spoke about surrender, right?
Yeah.
And this time we're going to talk about trusting, and trusting. Guess what? Trusting our heart. You know, so if that's okay with you, what I would like to do next is bring in now the light beings, 3 light beings from another galaxy. Speaking of what you were talking about,
Yeah.
with whom I had the privilege of talking through Earl Backman as a channel on October 29th, and we discussed the issues of discernment and trust. And so here, let me play it. You may not be able to see anything. I will put the picture in when the film is put together, but you should be able to hear a sound. Can you hear it okay?
I have this year, particularly,
That's my voice.
to be much more conscious of following my heart rather than my brain. And maybe that's where this discernment comes in too. You know, if something doesn't feel right, you pause and you know.
And it's usually not right. If it's something you feel as opposed to something you think.
That's exactly what I mean. That's like trusting my heart more than my brain.
Yes, that your heart is the master. Your brain is the servant. Your brain serves the heart. It's not the other way around, which is the way most human beings think. The brain is viewed as the master and the heart the servant. It is not that way at all.
It is becoming increasingly clear to me this year that what you said is absolutely true.
So, Nina, can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, the heart is a master and the brain is a servant, the light beings say. What do you think of that notion?
Well, I think, I agree. And then it makes me, there's a little feedback, so it might sound funny. It's all about human divinity, Bob, and the ego being imbalanced with the divinity of who we are. For me, you can say the heart is the master, but let's say in balance, because we need both the heart and we need the brain, but the brain nor the ego should be the one giving directions, and that's what's been happening for most of my life and most of my past lives, I'm sure. This is a new reality for me, to be led by the balance, but absolutely knowing fully my human divinity. And it is, so another way to put it is, when I am in perfect alignment, when my persona is in perfect alignment with the will of the divine creator.
And how does that feel?
How does it feel? It feels...
Nina, you are completely breaking up, so I'm sorry. Would you mind starting over again from the point where I asked you, how does that feel? And I'm losing you now, it seems, on the line.
No, I was thinking. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear it fine.
Perfect.
I couldn't hear you think.
You couldn't hear me think. I love it. Well, you probably felt me think.
Exactly.
How about that? It feels that I am in wholeness. That's what it feels like. It feels like I am in balance, my persona, my ego, with my divinity. And for me, that is how I am to be on planet Earth. I'm not to discount my persona, my ego. That is absolutely part of who I am expressing on the planet. But I am in full balance, and what I like to say is I am in alignment with the will. My will is in alignment with the will of the divine creator. And that feels like I'm right on target. My compass is pointed directly, and that's the way I want to live my life.
Exactly. Do you want to know how it feels to me? To me, it feels like a state of bliss.
Oh, well, that's perfect. That's love. Love in action.
State of bliss, complete relaxation, completely in peace with yourself and the environment and the elements.
And you know, Bob, we were I was talking with my friend here at Thanksgiving dinner, and is it not possible that all of our life, from having Thanksgiving with a friend, or creating a business, or seeking a partner, or buying a new house, is it not possible now in this new paradigm for us to get back to the word trust our human divinity to provide out of the field of all possibility? It's going to quantum physics. It's all there. And if we are divine humans expressing perfectly in alignment with the will of the divine creator and trusting this process, why shouldn't every aspect of our life be with ease and grace?
Exactly. And you know what? It's interesting that the difficulty here that I have found with most people, including myself, is that we are not used to trusting our heart. There's a fear of, do we really know? You know,
Yep.
How can we be sure? You know,
that have made us less than we are as divine beings.
right?
Where the fear comes.
Nina, when you said the fear comes, you broke up again. What did you say? The fear comes from where?
The fear comes from the collective consciousness.
Collective consciousness, yes.
That we are not divine beings, and it's just not true.
Exactly. And so, to that extent, the light beings have also told me in another segment that I will include in the broadcast, but not play it now for us, in which they said that our souls are imprinted with wisdom that stretches for millennia, maybe even millions of years in some cases. And all we need to do is trust and tap into that wisdom.
Bob, you know, my favorite question, who are you? You know, you are an individual aspect of all that is. In my truth, you are your source, your one consciousness. You're the creator of all creation. You are an aspect, an individuated aspect of all of that. So why wouldn't what he just said be true? Of course you have all the wisdom, all the knowledge. Where? In your quantum DNA field. It's all there. We've just forgotten. But when we remember our sovereignty, why can't we tap into it?
And we remember it with our heart, not with our brain. I think that's the key part here, is how you feel. Just like you said, if it feels right, then you can go with it. If it doesn't feel right, then question it until it does feel right.
Perfect. Sounds like a simple formula.
Well, why don't we ask the Golden Dolphins if they want to join us in this broadcast and share their opinion on that subject, or a message of any kind.
Oh, I love it. And you know, Bob, I'm going to surprise you here a little bit. And I haven't talked about this a whole lot. It's currently in the issue of Sedona Journal of Emergence. But as we're moving out of a cycle and into a cycle, for me, there is a transformation. And this transformation hasn't been totally revealed. But the transformation for me is that the gift of sharing the wisdom from the Golden Dolphin avatars of Sirius B has been my blessing for the last year and a half. And what is happening, it is being transferred to all of the planetary golden dolphins on the planet. So I no longer...
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, and what am I saying? I'm saying that
I have totally integrated with the golden dolphin aspect of me, so that with all humility, what I would like to share, because I believe it is not only my truth, but it's my truth about the planetary golden dolphins, of which you are one for sure. In my every moment speaking, in my 24/7 every moment speaking, I am now, and this touches my heart, and I'm saying it with the broadest definition of humility, which is be all that you are, no more and no less. I now am expecting that every word that comes out of my mouth 24/7 will be integrated with the golden dolphin aspect of who I am. So what I'm saying is, it probably is not appropriate anymore for me to give a formal message and in the language of the golden dolphin. It is a new paradigm, it is a new way of being, which is, this is who I am 24/7 with every word spoken.
Wonderful. Well, that's just great. And I totally get it, because I know that I have many, many masters, and that they actually speak through me. They express themselves through me when I type on the keyboard, when I play the music, when I call on the spirits to join us, when I call for the rainbows. It's not me doing it. I'm the channel that that extends and connects the energies of the earth and the celestial realm to make that happen.
So maybe I'm taking it a step further, Bob, and please help me with this, because we're moving into a new paradigm and I haven't figured it out. But you are the master. You are the master, and every word spoken is the wisdom you were talking about. The wisdom that goes back for eons and eons.
That's what I have been told. I have been told indeed that I have been incarnating for millions of years all over the universe, not just on this planet.
Right.
And on this planet alone, I've had thousands of incarnations. And that indeed, this is a cumulative, if you like, experience, wisdom, knowledge, gnosis of the universe that is trickling through. I must say, trickling through, because I want to be aware of that for maybe 5 years, Nina. Before that, as active as I'd been in life, I feel as if I'd been asleep for the previous 60-some years.
So what is the discernment that I'm hoping to express right now, and what is the shift in consciousness that I'm alluding to? I guess it goes back to the word I'm going to use more and more often, sovereignty. I know myself, I know you, I know our listeners as sovereign beings. And as sovereign beings, we are the author of our reality, and we have total recall that is being ignited minute by minute of all of the aspects of creation. So it is time for me to bring it in and to declare it, and for each one of us not to feel that we are to rely on external sources, because as sovereign beings, it's all within you, and every frequency that you emit, every sound that you make in your speaking is conveying that enormous wisdom.
You are totally, what you're saying now is totally in alignment with what light beings said to me on October 29th. Discernment discussion then was about whether or not we can trust a particular channel or particular channels. And they said that no channel is perfect, that there is a lot of noise, if you like, in the channel that comes from the personality that channels the X, Y, and Z entity. And that therefore we have to exercise discernment in figuring out in our hearts what we can trust, what information we can trust. But then they said, but you know what, Bob? It is equally, if not more important, for you to tap into your own wisdom, because just like you said, you've done, and then they repeated all the incarnations and the wisdom that apparently my soul had accumulated, and so that is the knowledge that's all imprinted into your soul, they said, and that's the knowledge you can tap into to discern what you can trust and what you cannot trust. And if I may suggest, that's true of many, if not most, of the stewards of the earth around the world, not just you and I.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I would take it a step further, and I would say, and everything I say is my truth, that when I open my mouth, or when I write, or when I formerly was channeling, which I am not doing anymore, it is, I believe, critical that we do it in the now.
Yes.
When we do it other than in the now moment, we are adding to it fear, emotions of suffering from the past and the future, in alignment with the divine creator.
Or emotions, if I may add, the emotions of the channeler. If you're not in the right place, if you're not perfectly aligned with the universe, the message that comes through will also be distorted.
Absolutely. And so this is so important, because I am passing the baton of bringing in the golden dolphin messages to all the planetary golden dolphins, and for each one of them to know that happen in perfect alignment with the divine creator is critical.
Nina, you will be probably pleased to know that about 200 yards down here, down in the gulch, there are 2 golden dolphins right now listening to all of this. They've been imprinted on the land, and when I put together this video, I will show you the picture of those. You can only see them from the satellite view.
I've seen them, yeah.
And the heart of the baby dolphin is right in the center of the Anahata Waka Ahu, the sacred site here. So
it's amazing. Bob, I just have to thank you so much for the service, the work that you are doing, and for the opportunity for so many people to share in your wisdom because of this vehicle that you have created and the communication opportunity.
Well, Nina, it is my honor and privilege to have guests like you. Actually, I shouldn't say guests. You're our co-host of this program. Sharing your wisdom with the stewards of the earth. And all I think that both of us are doing is just our job. That's what we came here to do, and that's what we're trying to do. So I want to thank you for participating. I'll let you go back to your turkey or the dessert or the pecan pie, whatever you're having. and enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving.
Yes, and thank Pele for us.
I will, Goddess Pele. Thank you very much.